Welcome to the Creative Differences Podcast. I am Gaby.
I am Dallas.
And this is Demi. I'm taking Colin's place today.
Yeah, because he abandoned us. Just kidding. He has responsibilities.
You guys have this thing about people abandoning you.
I said that about you when you weren't here.
I know. I listened to it. I was like in my car coming home from work going, oh, I'm so sorry.
And Colin's not here to defend anyone, so.
He's probably not going to listen to this, so he won't even hear it.
Poor balling Colin.
Oh, well.
What are we
Moving on.
talking about today, guys?
Oh, yes. So today we will be talking about Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, Mistress of Evil, right?
Yes.
And
I don't know.
Zombieland 2 or Zombieland: Double Tap. They both have colons. They both have long titles.
They're both sequels.
They're
It's a sequel episode, everybody.
Yeah, woo!
Woo!
Woo,
Wah,
woo.
wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
There you go.
So, let's get this started.
Yes,
Okay.
with Maleficent.
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 Gabby, did you watch it?
No.
Cool.
Cool. That means you guys don't have to listen to her talk about how much she hated it.
Oh, right.
I'm so glad I didn't see it.
You know what's funny?
Although you guys made me want to see it.
I think you would like this one more.
I like
What?
this one, yeah. I think it's because I didn't have the expectation.
I heard there's... Never mind.
So basically this, if you guys didn't hear our Throwback Thursday episode where we explained what this movie was about, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil is basically Aurora and Prince Philip get engaged, and Maleficent is invited to meet Prince Philip's family. She does not approve of this engagement, and neither apparently do his parents, and that starts a bit of a conflict between the characters. Although I think the trailers made it out to seem like his parents really just didn't approve, but it seems like they were very approving of this engagement.
Basically, this is a movie about racism,
It is.
but
How?
with fairies instead of minorities, except all the minorities are fairies.
Yeah.
It's kind of confusing.
It's true, though. He's not wrong.
Yeah, it's basically like, oh, I don't want you to marry him because you can't trust those kind. And then his parents are like, well, wasn't she raised by those kind? We can't trust those people over there. And it's just a very, very overtly racially charged movie.
Dallas, call it what it is. It's a race war.
It's definitely a
There
race
was a
war.
race war.
There's a legitimate race
There's
war
a
in this
legit
movie.
race war.
And it's funny because it starts out kind of like, guess who's coming to dinner?
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, it's Maleficent. Oh my God. And then you find out, I can't give away spoilers.
You can't give away spoilers.
But, you know, someone's up to something.
So,
And it's on some like Helter Skelter race war type stuff.
yeah, like I was
Wow.
saying, I liked this one a lot more than the first one, and I think it's because I didn't have the expectations that I had on the first one, where the first one I was like, Maleficent has to be a certain way, and she wasn't. And
Yeah.
this one, it was just like, well, I know what the first one was about, so I know what I'm anticipating the behaviors to be like in the second movie. So, like, I liked it. I still don't think it's great, but like, I liked it more than the last one.
Honestly, I wouldn't even say I like this movie, but I did like it more than the last one. And I think the reason I would say that Gabby might not hate it is because like all of the, I guess, the softness of the first one,
Yeah.
they kind of make up for with like how hard they go with like
The
The
race.
dark-
the
Darkness?
antagonist and the like. It's like the antagonist is really evil.
Yeah,
Like,
for just evil. I think what I appreciated about this was that, like, I feel like it does the full spectrum of fairy tales, which, like, originally fairy tales were very dark, but they had those moments of levity. And I think this movie has those moments because when it gets dark, it's dark, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
But when it's, when it's got its moments of lightness, I'm like, cool, that's nice. This is working out pretty well. I still am not a fan of the writing of either of these movies. I felt like Maleficent was the B plot of this film.
Like she was the B plot of the last film, basically.
No.
there's like a separate
No.
story
Yeah, the
where
last
like you saw the
film-
trailer where like there are other Maleficent like people. Did you see the trailer?
Yeah.
Audience, you've seen the trailer. There's like basically Maleficent finds other people like her, like dark fairies,
The
dark
dark
fae.
fae.
Oh, okay.
And it's like, oh, this is where all the minorities are.
And the
Because
thing
in the kingdom there are 2 black people. One's a servant and one is a military dude. But then
So
the
they're
dark
both
fae
servants.
are basically
But at
everyone
least,
serves.
at least he's the head of the guard.
Right.
Yeah, but like...
It's basically it's like real life. But like the dark fae are led by Chiwetel Ejiofor
Yes. Sorry.
and
Ed Skrein.
yes, Francis from Deadpool.
Ooh,
Love him.
Francis
And then they're just like
Fae.
filled to the brim with minorities. I was like, oh, this is where all the minorities are. There's like Asian people and brown people and black people
Like people, wow.
just like hiding in these caves. And I'm like, yo, this is
we're in the
this movie's
cave.
straight up about racism.
Yeah, no, and the funny thing is, I liked the dark fae plot line
Yeah.
more than I liked anything else.
That was
in that
way
movie.
more interesting.
And I was just like, why is this the B plot?
Right.
And why is this the second movie? I feel like if that had been the first movie, it would have been a much more interesting story.
Yeah.
But
like Maleficent,
Maleficent finding her people,
Yeah,
and then in the end, you lose them all.
You lose them all, and that's what makes you evil.
And that's what makes her hate everybody.
And
exactly.
And like that.
But that's not the movie we got.
And then you could you could have made her good though and evil at the same time.
Exactly. And it would have been dope, but that's not the movie we got. Would have been a good series.
Now you're
These
making
ideas
me
are
madder.
good. These ideas
it just
are
sucks.
good.
Just like I guess one of the main
bad bitch.
people is what's her name, Aurora.
Yeah.
I didn't hear about her at all.
And the thing is,
The people I cared about were the minority fairies.
well, I will say this. As a fan of Sleeping Beauty, I was a fan of the Aurora storyline, but I was like, this is a Maleficent movie. I didn't come for the Aurora storyline.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Fair.
last movie, I wasn't really impressed with Elle Fanning as Aurora. This movie, I liked her a lot better.
Okay.
Also,
She's also matured though. It's been 5 years.
She's matured. They've kind of given her more of a personality in this film. She's more of a person. And also, like, Harris Dickinson, who plays Prince Philip in this version of the movie.
Waits, man.
Brenton, I miss you, but I love Harris because he played Gurjin in The Dark Crystal.
Know, but I love him.
He played Gurjin in Dark Crystal Age of Resistance, and like, bruh, all of his outfits, every time he came on screen, I was like, you were serving me these princely looks, and I love it. And then, of course, Angelina Jolie being Maleficent. I felt like it was like a B-plot because I felt like I did not get enough of Angelina Jolie as Maleficent.
Interesting.
Like, I just was like, I came out of the movie and was like, I wanted more of Angelina Jolie. Seeing as her name is the first thing that we see before we even see the title Maleficent.
I mean, she's in a good amount of it.
She is, but it just feels like she's not there.
Just not enough.
B-plot.
Yeah, exactly. It feels like the B-plot.
Also, one character that I was intrigued by, I couldn't say I liked, is Michelle Pfeiffer's like redhead sidekick.
She's evil in every movie I've ever seen her in.
Yo, she reminds me so much.
She's you remember Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them?
Is she in that movie?
She is.
Who is she?
She's the with the adopted family. She's not the mom. She's like her assistant or whatever.
Oh.
She's evil in everything I've ever seen her
Find
in.
it.
I'm like, you literally have been typecast as like the evil assistant. In
She
everything.
rocks it. She's like,
she's so good at it.
but she have you seen Scott Pilgrim versus the World?
Yeah.
She reminds me of Kim, the drummer. Like, she had this look on her face. And there's a scene when she gets on the piano. And I was so sure that she was about to be like, 1, 2, 3, 4. No. I was like,
she might as well have been.
right?
Oh my gosh.
What was her name?
Her name is Jen Murray.
Yep. That's her.
She's
probably.
evil in everything. Brooklyn, she's like the annoying like girl who's tattling on them every
Jen
single
Murray.
time. I hate her. I hate her in everything she's
Oh,
in,
boy.
but she's so good at being bad. It's so annoying.
Look at her face, Gaby. This is a picture of her face.
Oh, that.
Yeah, she has
She
eyes.
looks really pretty in that photo.
Like, she looks way better in this picture than she did in the movie.
She looks odd looking in everything I've ever seen her in because she's supposed to be that odd chick.
But, like, look at
What's
her
her name
eyes.
again?
Jen Murray.
Oh my gosh.
Jen Murray, you're very pretty, but you have a scary look in your eyes.
Oh my gosh. She's evil in everything.
But, you know.
And I was thinking it throughout the whole movie. Like the moment I saw her, I was just like, oh, you just gonna be evil. It's like seeing Allison Williams in movies nowadays. It's just like, oh, you're just gonna be evil. Except I know that she's not in everything. But like, Jen Murray is literally evil in everything I've ever seen.
She was a badass, though. She was doing her thing.
She was kind of cool.
Out here trying to catch
I
bodies.
do not remember this.
She was
woman's
almost
face.
catching bodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Caught
moving on.
about a week ago. Sorry.
Thank you for that contribution, Kevin.
You're welcome. That's what I'm here for.
But yeah, that's all I have to say about that movie. I honestly
I feel
don't
the same
remember
way.
a lot of it. Moving on to the movie that...
Zombie.
There it is.
Double Tap. I watched that one.
Yes, I watched this movie 3 times, which
I've
was
seen it.
unexpected.
And
One
I've seen it
time
twice.
with me.
Yes, one time
Me,
with you,
that was
one time with me.
We literally just got out of that one.
You
It's
guys
true.
did?
Yeah, we just-
Aw, friendship.
We just came back from
Friendship.
seeing that one.
Adorable.
Yeah, Zombieland Double Tap. For those of you guys who, I don't know, like the synopsis is basically Little Rock, the youngest of our squad, leaves the nest
Yep.
to go be with this guy from Berkeley, and
Yep.
the rest of the squad goes to look for her, and they go on another funny road trip adventure.
Yep.
And it's amazing, and I love it.
Same. I love this movie.
I also love this movie.
It's so much fun.
It's what I needed, especially Madison.
Oh my God, Madison.
Zoe Deutsch. Let's go.
Zoe
bro.
Deutsch is amazing.
Madison.
So I have been a fan of Zoe Deutsch since like 2012, 2013.
I've been a fan since I saw her in Vampire Academy.
She's great.
And then I saw Beautiful Creatures, and I was like, that was her.
Oh, yeah. The girl has range.
She does. It's wild.
Listen, I knew she had range when I saw her in Ringer because she went through a whole season and I was just like, oh, you're just better than almost everybody on this show. I see. Okay,
wow.
Cool. And they're all adults.
She's amazing.
She's great. And Madison is
hilarious.
Probably the best newcomer in the entire movie.
Yeah.
Which says a lot because this like cast of characters is like fantastic.
It's stacked,
like the actors are great. The characters are hilarious.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, usually
for her to stand out that way is really impressive because I have grown to love Tallahassee so much.
Yeah.
Like, when we did the what was it?
The
Throwback Thursday.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I like. They're fun characters, but I don't think that I would really want to spend any time with them.
Yeah.
But like, I could definitely go on a road trip with Tallahassee and Columbus.
Tallahassee's great.
Oh my god.
Everybody, yeah, but it's
I
really
like
hard.
Columbus because Columbus is prepared.
Always prepared.
I love that dude.
It's just really because when you come into sequels, it's really hard to bring in new characters and make them like as good as your original characters because that's who we came for. We came for the original characters, and like the secondary characters don't matter as much.
Right.
But like this movie is like the secondary characters are like almost as great as the original.
Right.
The only reason they're not as great is because we didn't spend another entire movie with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
But,
Nevada is super badass and amazing.
Oh, she's
yeah.
freaking.
Rosario Dawson.
Flagstaff is hilarious. Thomas Middleditch.
Oh,
like,
Thomas Middleditch.
his
I love him
interaction
in
with-
Silicon Valley. Oh, and him in Columbus.
Like, him in Columbus, like they're like
So
little bromance.
adorable.
It was amazing.
Oh my god, yeah.
That was for you.
Avin-
What's his name? That was for
Flagstaff.
you, Flagstaff.
Avin Jogia as Berkeley.
He was barely in it,
Honestly,
but
Berkeley
he's fine.
was the one who annoyed me the most. And like,
I think he's
I know
supposed
he's
to.
supposed to, but I was like, I don't know if you're annoying me in the way that you're supposed to. Because like, I thought Madison might annoy me after a while, but I
Madison
never
was
got tired of
amazing.
Madison. She was amazing. But Berkeley, it's just like every scene with Berkeley, I'm just like, ooh, I see why Tallahassee hates you.
I wanted to know.
I think that's the point.
Definitely
you were
is.
supposed to be on Tallahassee's side.
I brought this up to you. And I just wanted to know if the casting director knew what they were doing when they cast Zoe Deutsch and Avin Jogia in this movie because they used to date.
Oh, that's so awkward. 'cause
Exactly. Yeah. Because I was like, maybe they just don't interact in this movie, like at all. When I saw the trailers, I was like, oh, they're both in it. Maybe they just don't interact. And then you watch the movie, and they eventually do get to interact.
Right.
And I was just like, oh.
Well, all right.
Oh,
That's
somebody-
called being a professional.
Well, also, I think they might still be friends though, because her mom still like likes his photos and comments and stuff like that.
Okay,
so
just because your mom. Never mind.
no, I think they're actually legit friends.
Okay.
So that's good.
I love that you know that her mom likes.
Well,
his
her
stuff.
mom is Leah Thompson, and I follow Leah Thompson, Zoe Deutsch, and Avin Jogia all on the same.
Oh my god,
on
you
Instagram.
just blew my mind.
That's right. She wasn't here for the Batman fan cast when I mentioned that the first time.
Freaking. Yeah, and I didn't listen to it. I love you guys.
Thanks.
I listened to all the other ones.
It's okay. I was there, and I don't know who Leah Thompson is because I don't remember.
She's
Back to the
mom in
Future.
Right. Yeah. Okay, I remember now.
Yeah.
Get
So
it together.
that was a
Dot.
weird-
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
So that's why.
Oh my God,
That's why I know that because I
that's
follow
her
all
mom.
three
Actually,
of
that
them
makes
on
a lot of
Instagram.
sense.
And
Now
she's
picturing
such a
her
but
face.
she's such a strong. And first of all, she didn't. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, she looks like her a little bit, but she's such a strong actress. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah. She's a.
Wow.
Yeah. She looks a lot like her mom though.
Yeah, you can definitely see the resemblance.
No, she does
Yeah.
now that I know it's her mom.
Now you're
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Yeah, but wow, my mind's blown.
We should probably talk about other aspects of this film. Like obviously the characters are great.
Well, Little Rock is kind of trash, and I didn't realize this
Ooh.
before. But the more I think about it, like, I can't say too much, you know. Well, no,
She left.
we get in the trailer, we see that, you know,
she left.
she kind of runs off with Berkeley, and it's just like, I get it, you know, you want to be with people your own age, you want to have friends, blah, 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 but like,
This is a zombie.
this is your
apocalypse.
family, like, it's literally your sister.
and you've been
How
with
are you
him
gonna
for 10
like?
years.
How are you gonna run off with the first person you meet because he's your age and attractive, and you're just be like, well, bye, Krista. Like,
Teenagers be like
That sounds like some dumb shit
Hey.
that people do in their late teens.
Hey guys, Madison would never.
Madison's
No, Madison.
a
wouldn't.
champion. But
Madison survived in that freaking freezer. Also, what was great about Madison was she was perfectly done up.
yes,
Like her hair was done, her
At
nails
all
was done,
times.
everything was done, but it was literally just for her because there was no one else in that mall. Like,
Oh yeah, no, she went through that mall.
fake fur.
because people have gotten mad at me about it before, right?
She's-
You thought I was a zombie? I don't even eat meat. I'm a vegetarian. Vegan, actually.
I love her.
But like the way that she does her little peace sign every time, Madison. She's amazing.
Obviously, you guys can tell that Madison's just the MVP.
I
of this
freaking
film.
definitely.
loved her.
I like that they brought back the rules.
Yes,
And
like
the graphics that go with them.
this
that
movie
was
is
amazing.
basically just like, hey, you like the first one? We're gonna give you all that again. Like, it's a love letter
Yeah.
to everyone who enjoyed the first movie, and I love that.
But it
'cause
was like different enough that I feel like, oh, this is
It
this
felt
is a
worth
new
watching.
story.
I feel like they improved upon a lot of it, but I like all these things in the first time around.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving them to me again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that with the rules, like, if you notice, the graphics of the rules that we already know, like double tap, cardio, those never stay on screen for too long. Because we know those already. If you watch the original film, you know that those are, like, the two big rules. I think they only stay, they only linger on certain ones where they're trying to make a joke about it.
Yeah.
Like the cardio.
We're number one.
But all the new rules, they stick around so that you can...
Actually see them.
here are the new rules, guys.
And they do them in really creative ways, like on the stairs with the cardio and like travel light with the suitcase.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like,
They kind of improved upon that from the first movie.
yeah. But then also it's just like, I watched the first one a couple nights ago, and I didn't realize how many similarities there were. Like, they both start with a Metallica song, and the opening credits are pretty much the same. Like, them going through like the credits and like the letters breaking away as they go through them.
Yeah.
Except obviously in the first one it's zombies chasing people, and this one is the team because they're already there.
Yeah.
We know them. Yeah. But it's
That
just
was also a badass opener.
Right?
480 frames per second.
Sounds like a lot.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, when you're watching something at 24 frames per second. So,
There it is.
so basically, it's 20 times slower than their actual
Right.
movements.
Yes. Numbers.
Wow.
Numbers.
But
Usually, I'm not good at math.
And then, like, the action is good too. For this to be a comedy, like, they give you some really decent action.
Man,
There's a single take scene, right?
it's actually
one
cut
shot.
into 7.
Yes.
It's not an
So
actual
it's the
single take.
one that we were like, oh my god, that's one shot.
Yeah.
Apparently in the interview,
I was reading
it
an
Ruben
interview
Fleischer?
with Ruben Flesher, like, before we went to see it again tonight. He said that it's actually cut. It's 7 different shots cut together to look like one single take.
Oh wow.
and they did it really well because I've seen it 3 times.
Yeah.
And every
you
time I was
can't-
like, oh,
I'm
that's one take.
Well,
That's
I
one shot.
leaned over to Kayla. I think I leaned over to Kayla, or Kayla leaned over to me and was like, is that a one shot?
I caught one cut the first time I saw it and was like, oh, this isn't a true one shot. But I did try and catch all 7 this time around, and I think I only caught 4. So I'm gonna figure it out, guys. I am.
You're gonna
Ruben Flesher, man. This movie made me realize that my issue with Venom is definitely the writing and not
the
with
director.
anything else, because I'm like, I love Zombieland, and I love Zombieland
Yeah.
too. Ruben
and you love
Ruben-
Deadpool.
and I mean, he didn't work on Deadpool, but like,
No, she means like the director of Venom
Oh, the
did John
director.
Venom.
Sorry.
yeah, I like this director, like his style, because Venom is sort of in a similar style.
Right.
It's just not as
You
sharply
don't like
written.
the writing.
Yeah.
And I
it's
wish it-
not as
But yeah,
Yeah.
Ruben's dope.
Ruben's
He did his
Ruben's
thing.
great. And if
Shout
he,
out to you, buddy.
if he actually wants to write that solo Madison movie,
Yes, do it, please.
I'll watch it. It might get annoying after a while. But
No.
That's one
Oh,
thing about
it
Madison
couldn't.
is I think the movie does something really smart in like,
Gives us a break from her.
yeah, we don't get Madison constantly.
for an hour and a half.
Yeah, it's like we get Madison here, we get Madison there, but it's not just a constant barrage of like, oh my god, this place is so cute. Like,
Okay. Also, I kept waiting for Madison to turn out to not be
Who you think she is?
Who she is.
Oh, really?
I was waiting for
Like
her
some
to be
kind of
like, just
character reveal?
kidding, I'm smart. Like,
just kidding. I'm smart.
like, because that's the Zoe Deutsch that I'm used to, is like the really,
Oh, yeah, she's really
like
yeah.
sarcastic and like,
She's always super
straight
snarky.
man. And yeah, and snarky. Like I saw her in like a vampire movie. She was the best part of that vampire movie. I think it was called Vampire Academy or something.
Yeah, she's
and
great in
she
that
was
movie.
like the snarky, like,
She's perfectly
Bodyguard.
cast in that
I can
movie
see that.
too.
amazing.
But yeah, she's snarky. She's always really witty.
Yeah.
And in this movie, she's
Just
she doesn't have a brain. According
No, she
to
does not. But
Tallahassee.
you know
She
what?
got any-
She still survived. She's
She
a
did, so give her
survivor.
props. Yeah. So yeah,
Right.
at the end of the day, we all loved it.
Oh yeah, I love this movie.
We all loved it,
It's
and apparently
so much
Madison
fun.
is the MVP.
She's amazing.
She is. We all loved her. She was
Yeah.
she was the standout for us, I think.
I think she's the standout for a lot of people.
she's great.
Yeah, she is, but also Woody Harrelson. He's doing a lot of the same things he did last time,
Yeah.
but for some reason they just hit hard. Like, I don't know. I think maybe it's because the characters have this chemistry now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like they have this different dynamic where he's not just being like, I'm the lone badass. He's also like,
I'm the dad.
I care about you guys and I'm doing this for you guys, not just for me.
Yeah.
And oh my God, he's great.
Also, they gave the girls more of a storyline this time around. Actually, the arc almost completely revolves around
the women.
Yeah, it's
Wichita
mostly
and
around following
Little Rock, because the guys don't
stupid-ass
really.
Little Rock.
I feel like the guys don't necessarily evolve, but Little Rock and Wichita do have a character arc. They do have something that they have to go through and to accomplish and become.
I mean, the last movie was mostly Columbus and Tallahassee, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
so they
because I
switched it
remember
off.
in the Throwback Thursday, I think Dallas was saying that. I think Dallas and Colin were both like there wasn't much to the girls. They're cool, but there's not much to them.
Well, I didn't like them when they were first introduced because of how they were introduced, which I love that they reference in this movie.
You guys should just
Can you
go see
remind me
Zombieland too.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely go see this.
Well, if you like the first one, go see it. If you saw Zombieland and you didn't like it, I
Don't.
would not recommend you
It's
watch
Yeah,
this
because
movie.
it's going to be the
What's that?
same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except with Madison in it now. Also,
Psycho.
I really like that they continued doing like cities as their names.
Mhm.
Like,
And it's not just
nobody-
them; it's everybody.
Everybody does it, which I'm like,
For some reason,
Which I was
How?
wondering, is
Why?
Madison
her
She's
name or her
actual
city.
name?
Wisconsin, I think.
Is she?
Yeah.
But
Because
it
I
might
couldn't-
just be her name.
Yeah, I was like, is she dumb enough that she's
oh
not
my
using one?
God.
But it's also interesting because Tallahassee starts that in the first movie.
Yeah.
Because he says, "What's your name?" and he says, "No names." Where you headed? He says, "Columbus." Okay, I'm Tallahassee. So like somehow that just
It's
became a
spread.
trend.
Well,
Yeah,
remember
everybody's-
something else also
Yeah.
spreads by the time we get to
Things
this
spread
movie.
in these movies.
But yeah, no, I was like, is she actually from Wisconsin, or is she just dumb enough that she's
I
using
think
her
her
real name?
name's
You
just
never know.
Madison then.
We'll never know.
All right, let's move on to the next.
Oh,
Moving on.
next thing.
All right, our next segment is, "Hey, how you doing? What's up? What you watching? You guys watch anything? No. That's the name of this segment for this week.
We're still
because-
working on it.
Goodness gracious.
Working title,
You know
working
what?
title.
If you have any suggestions for what we
Oh,
should
right.
call this
That's a good
segment,
idea. Art
you
source.
should leave us a comment and or a review.
Yes, the segment is about whatever we've been doing since we last saw each other.
We're like what we're
Usually
watching.
what we're watching. But,
We
you know,
see each other often, so
whenever we
We
last
do,
recorded.
but this is for the viewers or listeners. Sorry,
Yes.
the listeners.
I'm starting with Living with Yourself.
Oh,
That
I knew
is
that
the-
you were gonna mention.
Oh my God, I love this show.
My brother loves it too.
It's great. So Living with Yourself is the new show on Netflix starring Paul Rudd and Ashlyn B. I think I said that name right. She's Irish. And as you can imagine, her name
Can I
is...
see it?
Sure.
AISLING.
It's created by Timothy Greenberg, who I had never heard of, but he served as an executive producer on The Daily Show with Jon Stewart. And he won some
Ooh.
Emmys and a Peabody, and he's great.
Wow.
He also wrote all of the episodes of this show,
What?
Dope.
which I thought was dope. I was looking up who
You
wrote
know
the
what it
episode. I was like,
was?
oh, he did all of them.
He had nothing to do after the Daily Show, and he was like, I'm just gonna write all of it.
And it's going to be
I
amazing.
feel that, man. Sometimes you don't want to trust people with your work.
Yeah. And there's only 8 episodes,
Oh,
which was
okay.
like easy to, get through in like a day or two.
I have a question.
What's up?
How did they keep this premise for 8 episodes? Because to me, when I watched it, I thought it was a movie. Because it
I did
seemed
too.
like a fairly quick premise
Yeah.
to take care of. / we saw a movie like that on the Disney Channel as children.
What movie?
The Other Me.
Oh.
Oh, I remember that movie with Andy Lawrence.
Yes.
Andy Lawrence.
So I was like, if Disney can wrap this up,
Also with Allison Pill, who is in
Oh, snap.
Scott Pilgrim.
Kim.
wild. Okay, full circle. So I'm wondering, how did they manage to make it 8 episodes and possibly another season?
The best way I can answer that question is they decided to make it super weird and super dark and just
A wild.
so much. A lot was going on. Because honestly, I thought it was a movie too. And I was like, oh, this is a TV show. I was like, okay, I guess they're going to try to hide this or something. And they do for a bit. And then they don't. But Paul Rudd is, as you know, he's amazing.
He is.
And
He's one of my heroes.
it's funny. Same. I was reminded of that scene in Ant-Man and the Wasp when he's
Ooh.
pretending to be Michelle Pfeiffer in his body.
Oh, yeah.
Because he is him, but he's pretending to be someone else. The premise of the show is Paul Rudd, his name is Miles Elliott, is in a bit of a rut, like he is in Role Models. And he wants to get out of it. So his friend recommends he go to some spa. And basically when he leaves, there's another him. He has a doppelganger. Except the doppelganger is better than him at everything.
Happier.
You can probably see from the trailer, the doppelganger is kind of like, well, why should you get the life? I'm better than you. And complications ensue. And there's a scene of the doppelganger trying to act like him. So it's new Paul Rudd trying to act like old Paul Rudd. But it's basically just all Paul Rudd being amazing because you see him kind of like changing his tone of speech, like going from happy, hot ones Paul Rudd to like, hey, like gloomy role models
bad
Paul
at
Rudd.
it.
No,
Because
he's like
pretend-
good at it, and it's scary.
Oh, goodness gracious.
The show is like a comedy thriller. It has really like dark moments, but it's really funny. Yeah, if you think you can handle that, check it out. I think you should watch it, Gabby.
I am not going to be able to handle
You
it.
should watch it because you love Paul Rudd so much.
I
And
do.
it's just so much Paul Rudd.
And I've loved Paul Rudd since I was a toddler.
Right? This show is made for you because it's two Paul Rudds. But also, Ashlyn B. I had never seen her before, but she is awesome. Like, she keeps up with Paul Rudd 100% of the time. She plays his wife. She's a straight man, basically.
Oh.
Nice.
But she's still really funny. She's a comedian, which I didn't know because I didn't know who she was. But she's very funny. And there's even episodes, or at least one, like dedicated solely to her and her experience.
Ooh.
Oh.
Which is another way I think that they keep it going for a series.
It's kind of like Atlanta where they gave
Yeah.
Zazie her own episodes.
They'll show that first day with Miles. And then they'll be like, well, you're going to
Miles
want to see
too.
what happened with the clone when he left. So then next episode, we'll get that perspective. And then we're going to get one with the wife. So it's like, I can see how you guys stretch this out for 8 episodes.
Okay. That's how I was wondering. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was like, how is
But it's
this
dope.
just a movie?
Right? I was like, I thought this was a movie. Yeah, if they do a season 2, I would definitely watch it. Timothy Greenberg, Paul Rudd, Ashlyn B., you're all amazing. That's living with yourself.
Gabby.
I'm next. Okay, so remember how Colin was talking about Letterkenny?
Yeah.
I do remember that.
Okay, Hulu's been trying to get me to watch Letterkenny for a while.
So you started watching?
No, what happened was I saw this article. I was like, no, Hulu, I'm going to fight it. I checked it out originally, and then I thought it was a reality show, and I was like, I'm not going to dedicate the time to I don't like reality TV, really.
Mm-hmm.
And then Colin mentioned that it wasn't a reality show, and I was like, oh, so maybe it's scripted. I love scripted television. I might check it out. And then I saw an article that was like, the show is brilliant, and you can tell just from the opening like scene. It's a cold open.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched the cold open, and I was like, this is really fast and amazing. I think I could eventually understand this language that they're speaking.
Oh, my God.
And I started watching it, and now I totally understand what's going on. I got through 5 seasons of it. The seasons are really short, 7 episodes.
Yeah, Colin told me that.
But yeah, just to like further clarify, it's about 4 friends living in a really small town in Ontario, Canada, called Letterkenny.
Makes sense.
And the thing about country people in Canada is they have a completely different slang than country people in America.
Nice.
So you have, and it's not just the country people slang. There's also hockey player slang on the show.
Oh, of course.
Because there's these 2 hockey players, and they just go back and forth with each other really fast, and you're like, this is wild. And you do need at first, like, because they really are speaking almost like in a separate language.
Yeah.
They said this phrase pitter patter a lot, and I'm like, what? And it wasn't until they were like, well, pitter patter, let's get at her. And I was like, it means let's go.
Oh, my
I
God.
was like, I got it. Let's
Pitter
go.
patter, let's get at her.
It means let's go. And I was like, okay. So I needed that list. And they said schneef. And I was like, what is schneef? I knew it was a type of drug because of the context clues, but I didn't know which drug. And then I looked it up, and it's cocaine. So that's what they call cocaine. Like, it's so
Foreign.
That's so much.
so foreign, but so beautiful. And then because there's a lot of like Irish immigrants in that part of Ontario as well, everybody has a slight Irish lilt.
Interesting.
And like some Irish traditions sneak in there too, which I learned from Eric when we were watching it yesterday. They took a shot and then they banged the table twice with the shot, and he was like, these people are Irish? And I was like, no, they're Canadian. And he was like, that's an Irish thing. And I was like, this show's convoluted.
Double tap.
Anyway, it's exactly
All the double taps.
it's a great show. It's hilarious. And then it's not just like, so they deal with like the people in the town. They deal with the hockey players. And they also deal with the local native indigenous Canadian tribe.
Okay. I heard
so-
some of that when Colin was watching it. Today, actually.
Yeah, it's great. I highly recommend Letterkenny. It's like, I get why Colin was watching it. It's like amazing. And then I've also been keeping up with Single Parents on ABC.
Right.
And Single Parents is a show about single parents.
Makes sense.
It's like a group, a diverse Kind of, not really. It's a group of single parents they each have like at least one human child. And
I hope so.
Right? Anyway, they each have at least one kid, and they're all the kids are in the same class and the same age, and they've figured out a way so that they're basically a single parent support group, like unofficial. They're all friends. They all work together, and it's created by the same woman that created New Girl. So it's like that odd, weird family dynamic with a bunch of like, and there's like a grumpy person, and there's like somebody that's way too optimistic. Fun. And it's just like a really delightful show. It's season 2, and I've been keeping up with it. It's awesome, and I recommend that too.
Nice. Shout out to single parents and single parents.
But we should watch that cold open so that you can understand how different from America it is. I love it so much.
Demi.
I usually don't do this section because I watch way too much stuff, and I've already started watching way too much stuff.
You consume so
like
much
these
media.
guys will be like, oh yeah, I'm watching this show, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm watching this. Well, actually, let's just get through this list real quick. So since network television is back, I'm currently keeping up with Batwoman, Supergirl, Watchmen, New Amsterdam, Black Lightning, Prodigal Son, Legacies, and Charmed.
Black Lightning is still on?
Black Lightning is still on, and I always forget that it's on my list. But it's one of my favorite shows too, which is crazy.
I saw a bit of it, but I can't with the CW's superhero shows.
Yeah, I dropped a couple. I only kept up with Supergirl because Lena is now bad, and I'm like, yes, Katie McGraw's playing evil again. But that's not the show I want to talk about today. Today I'm going to talk about Prodigal Son.
Ooh.
Because I actually saw that show before it came out, and I was a fan of it from the moment I saw it. Mm-hmm. So now I get to talk about it, and it's gotten a few episodes in, so I feel a lot more confident in my opinions of it.
Nice.
I love this show. It was created by Sam Sclaver. It's a really weirdly spelled last name. And it was created by Chris Fedek. I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, but he created Chuck. And I love Chuck. Chuck is like
you do love Chuck.
Chuck is probably one of my top 10 favorite shows.
Chuck was delightful. I love Chuck.
Exactly.
I'm really sad that I can't find it anywhere anymore.
But also, it's executive produced by most of the same people who do the CW superhero shows, which is crazy. Like Greg Berlanti is one of the executive producers, which is probably how this show got on the air in the first place. But anyway, the show is about this guy named Malcolm Bright, and he is a criminal profiler. And he's working with the NYPD, and his father is a serial killer.
Right, there it is.
That's the twist.
That's the show.
The show. Yeah, his father is a serial killer, played by Martin Sheen.
Who's fresh off of Good Omens.
Yes, I didn't watch Good Omens, but oh my gosh, he is incredible on Prodigal Son. Tom Payne plays Malcolm Bright, who is the lead character, and I love Malcolm Bright. He's such a messed up character. I love the fact that he's the leading man of the show, but he's a protagonist that is unlike most protagonists. He's so messed up in the head. The boy has chloroformed himself. He has fallen out of a window. He has night terrors, so he has to chain himself to his bed every night.
He literally chains himself, or does he just strap himself?
No, he
uses chains.
His strap is chained to his bed. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so
he
dramatic.
Owns a bunch of weapons that are in his apartment, and he owns a parakeet. He's great.
Is he sweet with the parakeet?
I don't know. He doesn't actually interact with that parakeet too often. But I love Malcolm Bright. He's so great. His mother is played by Bellamy Young, who is most well known for Scandal, and she is deliciously just delightful on this show because she also has so many issues and likes to, unlike Malcolm, who goes head first looking into murders, his mother is really into drugging and using alcoholism to get past her problems. Because obviously when you've been married to a serial killer and you didn't know that he killed 23 people, you probably aren't going to deal with that very well.
It's a big number.
No, that's
23
a lot of
is
people.
a lot.
Yeah.
That's like Ted Bundy numbers, man.
Yeah, and then he has a sister, Ainsley, who we haven't gotten to know very well yet. And then there's also his police team. It's nothing but people of color. And it's great, man. I love it. Like, the coroner is Asian. Danny is, I think she's supposed to be black on the show because she's Harold Perrineau's daughter. And then the police, like, their leader of their team is Lou Diamond Phillips. It's a great show. You guys should just watch it. Baby. I'm usually not into police procedurals, but I really love this. I love the twist and the focus on the fact that his father is a serial killer, as well as Malcolm suffers from memory lapses that happened from the night that he called the police on his father.
Did he like catch his dad in the act?
He found a girl in a box, but
like a dead girl?
But they never found the girl who was in the box.
What?
So
what do you mean?
There's a girl in the box. He found a girl in a box in his dad's workplace, in his work study area. in the house, and
He called the police on it, and then the box is just gone.
and then the box was empty. So now
the girl.
So now Malcolm's trying to figure out who was the girl in the box because nobody believes that there was a girl in the box. And he's trying to figure out if he had anything to do with what happened because he's having memory lapses and he doesn't remember what happened.
Oh
the
my
entire
God,
night.
this show is wild.
So you guys should watch Prodigal Son
What's
because
in
it's so
the
much
box?
fun.
What's in the box?
Plus his profile, it's always really fun when he gets to profile the murders and stuff. Like when
That sounds
he's
cool.
figuring it out. So
Sounds
yeah,
like something Gaby would be into.
I told her she would be into it. She's with her true
Probably.
crime loving self.
Yeah.
She
Oh,
would
yeah.
totally
I
be
was
into
literally listening to Cold Case Files on my way here.
Gaby
Yeah.
loves serial killers.
I don't love serial killers. I just find murders oddly fascinating.
this. And so
and
does Malcolm
murderers.
Bright. So they have that in
And I
common.
want to hear about people getting caught. Although, honestly, listening to Cold Case Files, like, the police are sketchy as fuck. I don't like it. They be doing some messed up things to catch people.
We should move on to our next section.
Yeah, that took a turn.
Yes, I'm sorry.
News number 1: Paul Dano.
Paul Dano.
Paul Dano is the Riddler in the Batman.
Yay!
Thoughts?
I think it's a good choice. I haven't seen him in anything big in a long time either.
I don't think Dallas knows anything about Paul Dano.
He
I know
was
what he
in
looks like,
Looper.
and he looks like a Batman villain.
He was in Looper, wasn't he?
Sure.
He is in Looper.
Yes.
Yeah.
He was in.
He was also in Little Miss Sunshine.
Every time I see his name, I think of Ruby Sparks.
And
I-
he's in Ruby Sparks.
And not a lot of people have seen Ruby Sparks, but that movie is messed up, and you should see it.
I know him because of a lot of trailers for Swiss Army Men.
Yeah, he's great in Ruby Sparks. He was also in an adaptation of War and Peace that I was kind of in the middle of watching because Lily James is in it, and I need to go back to watching it and probably restart it because I don't remember anything that happened. But he's a great actor.
Nice.
And it'll be fun to see him play this character because I'm so used to seeing him play like really socially awkward people. I guess that fits.
Yep, it totally does.
Especially-
That's why I'm so excited.
He's playing the Riddler. Like I'm so used to
Yeah.
him playing really socially awkward people, so I guess that works.
And I feel like he's going to play it. Sometimes I feel like a lot of these DC characters are very over the top. And I feel like Paul Dano is a good choice for this particular Batman adaptation because it's not he's not a big over the top actor. So I feel like we're going to get a very like calculating Riddler. We're not going to get like a cartoonish Riddler.
Somebody pointed out that he also looks really, really smug, even though he looks really like
that's just his face.
socially awkward. He
That's
looks
just
really
his
smug, and that
face.
fits.
That's the Riddler.
Yep. Although honestly, if you just wanted to quickly rehabilitate the Riddler, I saw a Tumblr post that was just like, just make him in charge of escape room.
I saw that post.
And it's like, oh, yep, there it is.
right.
See, like Colin brought that up to me, and I was thinking he's just gonna kill everyone in the escape room.
But isn't his thing is mostly he just likes puzzles? So
He does really like puzzles.
So
but
you
he's
just have to. So he gets to mess with
also
people with
kill it.
puzzles, but he's not gonna. Is he into murder?
sometimes.
I thought he was just mostly into making the Batman.
It's
'cause
mostly
the Batman's
puzzles.
supposed to be. Yeah.
It's mostly puzzles.
I thought because the Batman.
But I don't think he's opposed to killing people.
No, but like you rehabilitate him and then you keep giving him what
Puzzles.
he likes, which is like making giant, intricate puzzles. Escape
We'll see.
room.
Maybe that's what Matt Reeves is gonna do.
That's the end of the Batman.
Yes, just escape rooms. News 2.
Sticking to superhero movies.
Yes.
Yes.
Naomie Harris is in talks to play Shriek in Venom 2.
Yes. I love
Yes.
her. She's amazing. She's also one of those actresses that has like huge range and like very different characters, I feel like.
Yeah.
Between like Tia Dalma and 28
Oh my
Days
gosh,
Later.
I always forget that's her.
Yeah. And
Yeah, that's like my first. Whenever someone
and,
says
like,
Naomie Harris, I
Skyfall.
think of that.
I always
Tia
forget that
Dalma.
that's her.
Yeah.
I mean, because Tia Dalma's just so unrecognizable.
Yeah. So between all that, it's just like I feel like she's
She's a
gonna
Shriek,
do
by the
great.
way.
Yes, I'm ready.
She's not gonna look like that in the movie though.
No,
If that's who she's playing.
no, they're
Yeah.
gonna put her in something.
Something.
that's covers
For those who don't
her.
know, Shriek is a love interest of Carnage, if you can believe he has one.
I can't.
Because
It-
he's crazy and she's crazy, and they work well together. She's a mutant most of the time, and her powers are sound manipulation, and she's able to tap into people's minds and bring out their inner darkness. That is a literal quote from her Wikipedia page. So like fear, anger, hate, all of that. She basically makes people violent, which is great for someone who hangs out with a serial killer.
Yep, Carnage.
Also, Venom is weak to sound, so a villain who uses sound as a weapon is going to be pretty tough for Tom Hardy.
Yep.
I really don't have an opinion on this news because, as I said earlier, I don't like the first Venom movie. So there's probably nothing that you could say about this movie that would excite me except that they changed writers, which they didn't. So
Oh,
And
I'm
I
so sorry,
am the opposite
girl.
of all of that.
I'm really excited for Venom. I enjoyed the movie. I think what it was is I could tell from the trailer that this was not going to be something sophisticated. So I was like, I'm just here for a good time.
Really? Because I felt like they were
And
trying to be
I
sophisticated.
got it. Yeah, they
and
were
it
trying,
wasn't.
and I saw straight through it. And I was like, no, I'm just, you know what? I'm just here for a good time. And guess what? I had a great time.
Yeah, I wasn't fond of that movie, and we'll leave it at that.
News
Right.
3, there's a Bloodshot trailer.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Finally got a Bloodshot trailer.
I've
I've been
been
waiting
waiting.
for this movie. Although I didn't know anything about it. I was mostly waiting because Sam Heughan is in this movie, and I love Sam Heughan.
I was waiting because I think I've been waiting for this since Asa Gonzalez got cast in this movie.
Yeah, I
I
forgot she's in it.
She
Me
is,
too.
and I also had no idea what this was about, except that it was based on a comic.
Yep.
So when I saw the trailer, I was like, "Oh, this is interesting."
I like it because it kind of turns the genre, or like the, you know, like the memory loss, like
Your wife died.
or like a hero trope on, or like revenge trope on its, or like anti-hero
Punisher.
trope. Yeah, Punisher trope on its head. And I really, just from the trailer, I'm like, oh, this is already really interesting. I'm down.
Dallas, you didn't even know anything about this movie either. So what did you think?
I thought he was a vampire. His name was Bloodshot. He's not a vampire. There's no vampires in this
Well,
movie.
yeah, also because in the comic books he has pale white skin and red eyes, so I would
Yeah.
also think he's a vampire.
Oh,
Ooh,
this
that's
dude's a
creepy.
vampire.
No,
But
no,
no.
I don't want that. I'm glad they took that out for the movie. I mean,
like, I don't
he is
want that.
white skin, but I don't want the red eyes. I don't want him looking like some albino bunny. Like, no.
Banicula. Whatever. It's an old book.
I remember that.
Yeah, Bloodshot. It looks interesting enough. The border is conflicted because on one hand, I feel like the trailer gave away something that I think would have been a cool reveal in the movie.
I think the plot twist is what they give away in that movie.
Yeah.
Which is-
Yeah, which is bothersome. But if they didn't give that away, it would have looked like a generic revenge.
It would definitely.
So
look
I
And
was like, I get why you guys put that in there, but man, that would have been a really cool reveal to
Oh,
see in
you
the
know
movie.
what they should have done is what they did with Cabin in the Woods, right? With
I never saw it.
I don't remember that trailer. I love that movie.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, that's.
They advertised it like a normal,
Like a regular,
like kids going to the
Yeah. and it definitely
woods.
wasn't that.
Yeah, but they might have feared that it would have come
Movie.
off as a generic superhero movie that's just trying to be,
Punisher.
bigger than it is.
Yeah, and then people were gonna be like, "This is wild."
Yeah, but they wouldn't-
And then
they wouldn't
it
have
would have
gone-
spread like the chicken
I mean,
sandwich from
maybe,
Popeyes.
Maybe they would go.
They wouldn't have gone like in droves because
That's
it's
true.
a Valiant comic, so it's not as well known
Oh,
amongst
that's
comic
fair.
book readers.
Yeah.
So I
AKA like why 3 comic book readers didn't know
anything
it.
about this. I'm
Exactly.
I'm sure that like most people probably saw this trailer and didn't realize it was a comic book movie.
Yeah.
Especially because I had somebody ask me if Joker was a comic book movie. So
Oh, honey bunny.
We don't have time to unpack all that. News 4. Another trailer.
Yes.
Star Wars. The Rise of the Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker.
There it is. Yep.
the
I thought, is it the or is it
It's
just
the
Rise?
Rise.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it is the Rise.
Skywalker.
the biggest thing to come out this week.
So Demi and I already have tickets, obviously.
Oh yeah, totally bought my tickets. I have not seen the trailer. I'm not planning to see the trailer. I'm just gonna go into the movie
I saw the trailer.
as
and
blind as possible.
It made me cry a little bit.
So I've had other people tell me that it made them cry, but also that it's spoilery, which is why I'm trying to stay away from it.
I don't think it's spoilery. But
My
I
mom also said she doesn't think it's spoilery, but like my mom's also not as big of a Star Wars fan as I am.
Well,
so-
here's the thing: it's like I don't think it's spoilery because I haven't watched all the movies consecutively in a long time. I haven't seen Last
Jedi.
Yeah, I haven't seen The Last Jedi since it came out like 2 years ago. So I don't know for sure. But like for somebody who hadn't really seen Star Wars as much, it's not super spoilery to me.
I think what it came down to for me was I didn't watch the Endgame trailer either. So since Star Wars is literally my favorite franchise of all time, I might as well just do the same thing here. Just go in. Like I've only seen the teaser and I've seen the D23 featurette that came out. So I might as well just like not watch like the full trailer, even though I almost gave in. I was so close.
I wouldn't do it, but I would watch it like after.
I might watch it after I see the movie just to see if it was actually as spoilery as people think it is.
Yeah.
But
Or just to see it 'cause it's a good trailer.
yeah, my goal is, I'm going to say this on the podcast now and we'll see if I actually achieve this. My father said that he saw the original Star Wars movie in theaters 10 times because people kept taking him to see it. My goal is to try and see episode 9 10 times.
Wow.
See if I can get through it.
That's a lot to me.
I saw Force Awakens 5 times
Okay.
without trying.
Oh,
So-
I saw Guardians 4 times without trying.
Yeah, so
I
I-
just kept taking people and going.
Exactly, I
Isn't
think-
this amazing?
I feel like if I
I
keep
did that with Black Panther.
going with people, then I can pull this off.
Yeah.
And it's Star Wars, so I probably will never get tired of it. Unless for some
That's
weird reason
so
I
much,
somehow
though.
hate it.
10 is a lot, yeah.
I mean, I thought 4 was a lot.
I mean, I did 5 for Black Panther and Spider-Verse.
I hit 4
Actually,
on Civil
I think
War,
I did.
So
I think I may have done 5 times for Black Panther as well, because I saw it before it came out, and then I saw it like 3 times that week.
I think I did 3 on Black Panther, and
So
that
I
was
think
back
I-
when
I
I
did at
had to
least
pay
4.
for tickets. So
Damn.
I feel like I can pull off 10 on
Oh yeah, if I had to
Star
pay for
Wars.
tickets, I'm not hitting more than like 3 on anything. Because
Yeah.
Exactly. So I feel like, and I already paid for these tickets for Star Wars, obviously.
How many watchings have you paid for?
I've only paid for 1.
Oh, okay.
I only paid. It's not like Force Awakens where I literally had 2 groups of people that I absolutely had to see this movie with.
Yeah.
Like at this point, I don't find myself having to see this movie with you guys. It's fine.
sure.
All right, guys. Thank you guys for listening to this podcast.
Thank you.
Yes, it's a fun time.
It's very different.
This is a good time to say thank you to Demi for editing our podcast and putting us up on YouTube. Thank you to Crown Digital, as always, for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Thank you to Bob Iger for making movies that are enjoyable to watch.
And for standing up for your employees.
Yeah. Thank you for not being the kind of old white man who is bitter about fun
Cinema.
movies. Sorry.
Or a
Just taking a
gatekeeper
turn.
for what cinema means.
That should be the rant.
You can find us on Twitter at y'all_different. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on Tumblr, Creative Differences Podcast. Gaby.
You can find me, Gaby, on Instagram at Stegosaurus.
You can find me, Dallas, on Twitter and Instagram at a king named Simba. Demi.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy spelled DREEMI. Thank you guys once again
Wait.
for listening.
You can find Colin on Twitter at Colin, Mistress of Evil.
Colin, Mistress of Evil.
I for sure thought you were going to go for a Zombieland reference, and you did.
I thought about it, but Mistress of Evil just sounds so Colin to me. As always, thanks for listening, everybody. Tell us what you thought in the comments about Zombieland, Maleficent,
Because that's what we were talking
all
about.
those shows, whatever you want.
Cinema.
Cinema.
What do you guys think is cinema?
Yeah. If you don't just say movies, I'm giving you a thumbs down. It's been different.